Hi, I'm Jhanna and this is my best friend Edel.
Hello.
And we're talking about codependency today. Codependency, rescuer's complex, whatever you'd like to call that. And the reason we're talking about it is because
We're seasoned rescuers.
sorry. We're so good at it. I mean, we were so good at it.
No, everything failed, but we tried so hard. We were bad at it.
I think I tried way too hard. Oh my god, those years of my life. Sometimes I wish I could just get those years back. My entire 20s.
Right.
I don't know what else to do except laugh at this point because I've also gone through the phase where I felt bad for myself, right? Now I can only laugh about it. Okay, before we go any further, I hope you like this video. Please subscribe.
Why? Why would anyone subscribe to watch two people crack up like this?
Because we're making codependency sound so fun.
Oh, it's not going to be fun for the rest of the video.
Oh boy. Oh, okay. So, codependent behavior is a behavior where you put other people's needs, other people's wants, likes, opinions above your own, and you feel that the only way the relationship can survive is if that person is dependent on you to sort out their needs, get their needs met, and you don't get your needs met at all because you feel that's the only way you can make a relationship work. So, yeah, that we pretty much covered it. Do you want to add something to this?
Well, rescuer's complex is number one. It's a manipulative technique because we feel like what we want out of life, we can't get it directly. We can't meet our needs directly. We feel like we can only get it through manipulative kindness, manipulative problem solving. So we'll attract into our fold people with multitude of problems, and we will try to be their rescuer. We would try to be their voice of sanity, their best friend, their best lover, their best teacher, guide, philosopher, whatever the case may be, whatever role we need to fulfill in their lives, so that through their life that is fixed, through the gratitude that we assume that they're going to shower on us, we will get our sense of self.
And we also exist only if they need us.
Yes. So we will help in as far as the person remains dependent without that person becoming independent from our helping them, from our mothering.
Right.
So it's a very manipulative, dark sphere to live in, number one. Number two, rescuer's complex comes from a deep fear of being enough, of also not knowing that we could be enough, and only existing through another person's seeing us. And along with the deep fear of not being enough, that it comes hand in hand with low self-esteem, a crippling inferiority complex, a lot of self-doubt, a lot of loneliness, never mind how many people surround you, a lot of loneliness, and an inescapable sense of the futility of life. The third thing is, in secret, a rescuer is extremely depressed, which is why the pendulum swings in the maniacal opposite direction of rescuing someone. The secret that the rescuer has is helplessness. They are completely helpless, as I'm sure you were.
Yeah.
So we are helpless, and we want to project onto the world an image of who we are, which is a rescuer, right? So that is actually a huge lie we are telling into the world. And the universe only responds and mirrors that which is true. And rescuing is not true. So you're not going to be surrounding yourself with well-intentioned people who are out there to save the universe. Instead, you will be surrounded by people who have a feeling of wanting to escape their own lives, crippling insecurity, people filled with loneliness, filled with helplessness. And we will be just, sucked into this whirlpool of more and more of doing the same thing, which is rescuing things, and finding lesser and lesser rewards coming from the same behavior, till ultimately, I think, we never learn the lesson and then go away, or we stop. So that's what I know about
I think I just stopped out of sheer exhaustion.
Yes, exhaustion. Yes, that's a good motivator. Oh my God.
Because it was nothing else from the outside that motivated me to stop, because honestly, I could have gone on.
Yes.
I really could have gone on.
Oh my God, you could have gone on. Oh, talk about flogging a dead horse uphill. If it was an Olympic sport, you know what?
Nobody needs to contend. I will win.
Yes. India will have a guaranteed gold medal. Courtesy Jarnakanan.
I just stopped because I was exhausted. I didn't have any more resources left in me. I had nothing left in me to give, and then I just couldn't do it anymore. And I stopped. And after that, there was a little bit of a lull where I tried replicating that behavior with a lot of other people, but I couldn't continue doing that. And I'm glad that didn't last very long. I think that must have lasted, 7-8 months. But after that, I completely stopped because I just couldn't do it anymore. And what helped me through all of that, like, you take off that thing like the Matrix, unplug from the Matrix, take off the thing from the Matrix. The only way I was able to unplug was through therapy, because I couldn't do it on my own. And you may have well-meaning, well-intentioned people in my life, because Edel has seen me evolve from who I was to who I am right now.
From a caterpillar to a butterfly.
So you've been there,
Yeah.
but how much could I put on you to take care of
then it
what
would
I
become
was...
a codependent relationship.
Exactly.
And it's fucking dysfunctional then.
Exactly.
Yes.
So the first thing that Edel suggested to me was go to therapy. I mean, that's
because
honestly,
I was in therapy. Yes.
And I honestly, that was the only thing that was able to take me to the other side, because I could have just gone on forever and ever and ever.
Because it flips it, doesn't it? It flips us from trying to deny the fact that we need help by helping other people.
Yeah.
When you go to therapy, it confronts with you are in need. You are the one who is in need.
Yeah.
And don't project your needs onto another person and try to rescue them, right? Yeah.
So therapy was, at that point, that was the only thing that could have done it for me.
Yeah.
And without therapy, I don't know where I'd be today. So therapy was a huge help. And it also helped me uncover a lot of patterns, which of course we form in our childhood, right?
Yes.
Because all our dysfunctional relationships are what you see when you're growing up, and you see people around you, and you try, because as a kid you are basically at the why am I not getting words today? At the mercy. You're at the mercy of the people that are around you, taking care of you. So whatever behavior you indulge in as a child to make your life a little simpler, because you're literally surviving,
Yes.
you're going to mirror the same things as you grow up. So there were a lot of patterns that I discovered during therapy, which made me realize that a lot of my relationships were codependent, and I was trying to rescue everybody, even though they and when you're trying to rescue somebody, please understand that they're not asking you to rescue them.
Yeah.
You're saying, no, you need rescuing, I'm going to rescue you. They don't ask you for it. And later on, you also feel like you were cheated because they're not responding to
The rescuing.
rescuing.
I was swimming. I wasn't drowning. Why are you dragging me out? I was having a good time till you fucking showed up. Oh God. Oh. And this is the thing, right? When you have a crippling sense of rescuer's complex, right? We literally choose not the greatest people, because the greatest people are out there busy rescuing themselves, being less of a burden to the world. We attract people who have no problem being burdens to the world. So instead of dealing with our shit and then surrounding ourselves with like-minded people of a different caliber, we belong to the same caliber, except that they're happy being where they are, and we try to keep them afloat. And in the end, both of us drown.
And also, what I've realized is, and again, this was only because of therapy, I realized finally I was the one that needed to be rescued.
Yeah.
So, whatever energy I was putting in the direction of other people, I turned it around to myself. And now, I don't have the strength to rescue anybody else. You want to rescue yourself? Go ahead. But
We're
I
all
can't
drowning
be part
here,
of,
brother.
I can't be part of that journey.
Yeah.
But therapy was the first step to get me to that point. Because without therapy, honestly, I don't know where I would be today. I really don't.
Oh gosh, yeah. It's a frightening thought, actually.
Yeah. And your work doesn't end at therapy, right? Because your work begins after therapy is over. Because you don't want to keep doing therapy all your life, every single day. You go for a certain amount of time, come back, do whatever work you need to do. You feel stuck, go back to therapy, try opening up a little bit more, come back and then continue doing the work.
Yeah.
So, also another thing I've noticed is when you are a rescuer and you're trying to rescue somebody else even though they haven't asked you for it and they're not going to reciprocate the way you want them to, you will feel let down and you will want to blame that person for not letting you rescue them. So that's another pattern that you can look at if you're able to step back and, watch that. That's another pattern you can uncover. But again, codependent relationships they're very painful. They're always going to keep you in a place of, like you said, not feeling good enough, being helpless all the time. It's not the best way to live. Is there any...
It's not the best way to live.
I'm glad I'm able to laugh about this now. Because when I was there, God, if somebody had spoken to me like this, I would have been like, how dare you say this to me?
How dare you question the wrong choices I'm making?
Don't touch my garbage.
My garbage.
Is there anything?
I made this garbage all by myself. Oh God.
Is there anything that helped you specifically apart from therapy? Because I'm not able to think of much.
The sheer, finally understanding the sheer uselessness of the endeavor, right? I would get into these relationships with friends, my last relationship. I would pump these people full of just one characteristic trait, right? I would pump them up full of confidence, right? And then I would watch them use that confidence to do things against me. And I'd be
I know,
there,
right?
Yeah, I'd be sat there going, you didn't generate that confidence by yourself, dickwad. What are you doing with it? It's like giving somebody a gift of money which they didn't earn. And then you're thinking, oh, they're going to invest it or they're going to buy something for you with it. And then you watch them flaunting it away and burning it and having, throwing themselves a party. And then you're thinking, that was my hard-earned money.
I think I understand why that happens. I remember listening to one of Shalon Lester's video where she was talking about how if you get into relationships which are dysfunctional, you pump this person up, and then they become a really together person, and then they don't want you to be part of their history because they've moved on.
Yes.
And that's probably what's happening here as well.
But in my dysfunctional relationships, it's not like they were ever completed projects,
Right.
They would suck the energy out of me. There was a very parasitic relationship where I would constantly be this energy source, this emotional petrol pump, where they would
Right.
come in, fill themselves up, and then squander away. And then I am left to be an emotional Wolverine and heal myself. And this is pretty much the story of every rescuer. And eventually you reach a point where you understand that your energy that you create for yourself is finite. And you can't keep on living in a cycle of getting hurt, healing yourself, getting hurt, healing yourself. Your energy has to be used for something, a bigger purpose than just healing yourself. Like, what the fuck is that all about? And why are you surrounded by people who hurt you? And it doesn't make sense. There are professionals out there to heal someone. Let them do the job. You do the living. Right? So, for the first time in my journey of healing, I'm so glad I don't have to do it alone, Janna. Thank you.
God.
I am learning that I have no place for broken people who are not acknowledging that they're broken, broken people that don't know how to heal themselves, broken people who want me to carry their weight. No, I don't think I was created with energy for that.
We ourselves are like a job in ourselves.
Yes.
Right?
You know, if you look at wildlife, if you look at, okay, let's just take a murder of crows, right? If you see a crow that is hurt and is dying, the other crows don't sit over there wetting a dishcloth and laying it on its forehead and fanning it to make it alive. It's like survival of the fittest. It is what it is.
And they do kill that crow, which is why it's called the murder of crows.
Yeah, and they fly away, or they leave it be. And it's us humans that have this weird concept of don't leave anybody behind. But people do get left behind, you know.
When we talk about don't leave anybody behind, I think it applies to people who actually want to do some work. So
I think
you can sort of move forward together.
No, it works for people in the army, Janna. It does not work in real life, right? And if you are in a job scenario and you're the slowest member in a team, guess who's getting fired, right? So why are we always carrying dead weights in relationships?
Therapy will answer that.
Yeah, and this is absolutely essential to know. Why are we getting exhausted for? Have you spent the entire day doing all the fun things you wanted to do, pursuing the goals that you wanted to do, and you're righteously tired at the end of the day? Or have you spent the entire day filling up a leaky person full of an emotion they didn't generate so that they can go and squander it, so that you can be deflated and be alone? Just ask yourself simple questions like that. Simple questions, not easy. And just
and notice how you feel in terms of energy when you're around certain people. Because I remember feeling exhausted, physically exhausted when I was around people. I would try to pump them up, and then I'd come back and feel like I needed my own space, my own time. I would just want to curl into a ball and fall asleep. I think sleeping a lot is another sign that you're doing something wrong with your life. Because I used to sleep so much when I was in these friendships and relationships, and I would just find if I slept, I'd be able to recharge myself a little bit, and then I'd go out and do the same thing all over again.
Yeah.
Sorry, you were saying something.
No, I was just about to say, be very wary that eventually even us generating our own energy is going to run out. You know, and be wary of people who come into your life at your low points. Be wary of people who come into your life at high points. Be wary of be wary of an in-exchange of energy. Like when what you give in has to come back in a different way. There shouldn't be an energy deficit between two people, and if there is, be brave enough and bold enough to walk away. You deserve better than that. And rescuing in itself is rescuing an unconditional love. You can reserve for nature, animals, your own children. Do not give it to another adult. Unconditional love is reserved for children below the age of 8, and all animals, all plants, all nature. Conditional love and being correct about where your energy ends is what will keep you in a safe place with every other human being in this world.
Safe place and a healthy place. Because if you don't have conditional relationships,
Yes.
you could just go wild and do whatever you want to, and then still say, oh, you know what, I'm going to be a horrible person, but you're still going to love me unconditionally.
Oh my God, I've been there.
It's not worth it. I think I'm just exhausted talking about this. Alright, so if you guys enjoyed the video, I think I already mentioned that at the beginning. Like, subscribe, share with anybody that might find this useful, and we'll see you soon.
Ta-da.